Yo, what's going on guys? HyperX here, and today I want to talk about Dragonball The Breakers, and more specifically, what exactly is this game? They dropped the trailer the other week, they dropped the video the other week, should I say, and honestly, this game looks a lot of fun. And this is coming from someone that I'm kind of tired of Dragon Ball games, I'll be honest with you. Controversial as it may be, I'm a Naruto boy, alright? I'm sitting here every time a new Dragon Ball game gets announced like, where is my Naruto equivalent? Where's my Naruto fighters? Where's my Naruto X, Y, and Z? But anyway, that aside, despite the fact there are so many Dragon Ball games I have lost count, this one actually looks quite cool. It's quite different. It is basically like a survival game whereby it's 7 of you versus one super powerful character and you've got to survive. And there's a playable beta this weekend, which I'm hoping to get a chance to jump into and test it out, because honestly, this just looks like one of those games that is ridiculous, but will also be a bunch of fun with some friends. So in this video, I kind of want to recap the main purpose of the game, what you get up to, some of the mechanics. So if you guys do enjoy this, I'd like to be super appreciated. And let me know in the comments down below, what do you guys think of this? Is this something that you would play? Maybe not super seriously, but maybe it's something you would play anyway. And of course, if you guys do enjoy this content, then definitely don't forget to subscribe. So top level, it's described as an asymmetrical action game. The premise of this is that you either play as a powerful character known as a raider versus 7 citizens known as survivors, and the citizens are basically people without powers. They get sucked into this phenomenon that is called the temporal seam, and then when you're there, the raider awaits you. The raider is typically an iconic sort of bad guy, so to speak, from the Dragon Ball series. The one they show off in the trailer is of course Cell, but it could also be things like Frieza, other characters like that, and you as a civilian are just a civilian. The game does of course feature, things you can unlock to customize your appearance, so you can make your own custom sort of unique look, but it's basically 7 powerless people trying to survive while some super powerful character tries to destroy them. That is the premise of the game. And as a survivor, you need to escape without dying, and as a raider, you then need to either wipe everyone out or at least kind of hinder them so much that time runs out and then you win by default. So the premise is pretty simple, but how does it actually play out? Well, the survivors themselves, they of course, having no powers, it does put them at a distinct disadvantage when fighting someone like Cell, who could of course just fly around, beat the hell out of them. So their main focus in the game is to activate the super time machine. They do this by protecting the startup system that appears in the map, and of course in the process of this appearing, you also have to find 5 power keys located around the world and set them in locations. When you've done that, of course, the more keys you have, the less time you need to defend the startup system. Now, it is worth noting the startup system, even though it does of course lead to the summoning of the time machine, it can be destroyed, of course, by the enemy, of course, by the raider. But if you can't access the super time machine, it is not completely over. On top of this, beacons can also appear around the map that allow you to call in an emergency time machine, and you then need to try and take this and escape. Now, only one of these can be called in at one time, so you can either just be like, I don't care about my teammates, and fly off on your own, or your buddies can basically kind of jump on board and you can escape together. But if that time machine is destroyed, you can't call it in again, and if time is over, the raider wins. So that is basically what you'll be doing as a survivor. On the raider side of things, of course, you need to kill all 7 survivors. Ideally, you can stop the time machine, but if you defeat all 7 survivors, that is a complete victory. You'll evolve during battle, which is hella cool. Like Cell, of course, as the example, starts off as a larvae, and of course, as he absorbs survivors, as he kind of battles people, he grows, and of course, you have different evolution stages, and with each evolution stage, you get new powers. You have active powers and passive powers, of course, active skills being things you can trigger at any time. Passives are just things that have continuous effects, and of course, the raiders will vary. Of course, the focus again was here on Cell, but be interesting to sort of see how the other ones play out as well. But rather cool as well is that they have an ultimate attack that can of course be used in their final form, great for destruction, but also when a raider evolves, they can destroy one area of the map. So the map is basically broken down into 5 different areas, which of course is where you find the different keys. So if you destroy those areas, it massively limits where the survivors can run to. It's also worth noting if the survivors have already set a key, it won't destroy it, but if they haven't got it, and you destroy that part of the map, it does of course mean they can't gain access to that key. So that is pretty epic. I mean, the fact that you can basically just like chip away at the map to the point where survivors don't have very far to run, kind of like Battle Royale to a degree. Now, of course, for the survivors, you might think, well, that sounds hella unfair. How do they even survive? They do have some things at their disposal. They can, of course, have active and passive skills. They can fly around in pods, shapeshift into objects. There's a thing called Dragon Change, where you can equip a transfer that basically contains the soul of a super warrior. And that is basically like, Vegeta, Goku, other sort of notable characters. And that lets you fight with the power of them for a short period of time, kind of like calling them in like a stand in some ways. And of course you have attack items, vehicles, other things like that, radars to find keys, but you can also locate the 7 Dragon Balls, and of course in doing so, Shenron can appear, and if you then make a wish, you can either make a wish to kind of increase everyone's power level, or you can increase yours to an otherwise unobtainable level, level 4, and in doing that, it actually changes your appearance to that of a Super Warrior. So instead of just calling in Goku to back you up, you can become Goku, and you can then of course go toe to toe with the Raider. But of course it only lasts for a period of time. It is however worth noting, the Raider can conversely hijack the Dragon Balls, or during the summoning phase you can sort of fight over it to see who gets the wish, and that can work against you. But that's kind of the flow for it. The idea is that of course you go in either as a civilian, as a survivor, and you basically got to complete those objectives, use the items available to try and survive and escape. Meanwhile, the Raider is there to try and kill you, to try and mess up your day, and to try and win. 7 players versus 1 Raider. Honestly, it sounds like a lot of fun. It looks like one of those kind of just like super hilarious party games where you should be running around like crazy with people like firing Kamehamehas like down behind you. I can't wait to experience it. But that is basically a quick summary of what to expect from Dragon Ball The Breakers. So let me know in the comments down below if you guys are interested in this. Let me know if you would like to see some gameplay, if I get a chance to go hands-on. And of course, keep it locked for plenty more. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you want to catch more from us, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our latest uploads. And if you want somewhere to hang out, play games, or chat all things from games to anime, food to fitness, consider joining the HyperX Gaming Discord.